what happens is these little aliens that come to Earth, they're very, very tiny, and they have a mission that they have something that they've come to do, take something from the Earth, and they're going to leave the Earth all messed up after they leave. And they've never the world that they're from, they've never been exposed to human emotions and stuff. So what happens is when they come down here, they start to be exposed to feelings, and these repressed feelings that they have start to come to the surface, and it affects their mission. It gets in the way of them accomplishing their mission because now they're all stirred up like like people are. I thought that it was sweet and funny first and foremost, and that's what I responded to. Every now and then I like to do one of these family movies. I guess it's because I got a bunch of kids, but every now and then I like to do one. And if it has the right elements. This was sweet and funny and different for me, so that's what made me want to do it. Well, for me, the challenge was having to do less because I have all of these, comfortable things that I do. Like the actor has their little rhythms and little stuff that they always do, and it was because I'm playing somebody that doesn't have anything. It's really not a person, it's a vehicle, and there are people in there controlling him, so he's kind of like a beat behind everything that's happening. So the challenge for me was, where I would, in a situation where I would usually make a face or do something, I had to do nothing. And that was a challenge, just to, make a person that wasn't there. There was a movie called Being There years ago with Peter Sellers, and that's what I was aspiring to be like, like Peter Sellers in that movie. His Chauncey Gardner character was like this guy who wasn't there, and he's kind of like not connected to everything. That's what I was going for. But once I get on the set, that's the preparation in my head before I get there. But once I get there, there's no prep, there's nothing. Once I get there, it's kind of like I don't even know what scene I'm shooting before I get to the set. I get to the set and it's like, what are we doing? And then I'm open to the possibilities. So, I use the script as a blueprint, but there are things in the air that it's not on the script. So I'm trying to get that stuff. Oh, CGI, where they make it look like it's going in. Oh, I hate to do movies when I have to eat something. It's always the worst. And I remember when I saw that scene, I was like, hey, now how they doing this hot dog shit? I ain't eating all these Franks. It's like it's all computer generated. That would be impossible. Even that little guy that wins the Nathans, he couldn't do that. The little guy, it's just this little skinny guy, little Asian guy that eats like 80 hot dogs a year and shit. He's incredible. Absolutely, because it's the technology just becomes more advanced every year. It's some new way of making films, and now there's a bunch of stuff they can do now. Literally, you can make a movie, where all they need is your face. They can take your head and put it on other people. And I've been to movies now, where it's a big action sequence and the scene is too dangerous for you to do, so it's all photo doubles and stunt doubles, and they'll just take your face and you'll be like acting, like you say your line and you look that way and look that way and that way at a certain time, and they can take it and put it on somebody else, and it look like you're doing all this shit in somebody else's body. So it's still new technology, so it's always fresh and new. It's like, hey, they're doing this now. It's physical, but it's on front of a big green screen. There's really nothing there, and you're kind of like, that's the closest it gets to. I'll refer to acting as play acting sometime when I'm, but that's the closest it gets to play acting for real, when it's like, I'm not with anyone for real. I'm in this green thing, and supposedly a big dog is trying to pee on us? Okay, so you gotta pretend. You gotta pretend it. Making a movie, the process of making a movie isn't a fun process. It's a really long, drawn-out process. And no, making movies, the process isn't a fun process. Now, every now and then something really interesting and stimulating happens on a movie set and you learn something cool, but the process is a boring, long, drawn-out process. But it's fun when you did a movie and it all came together and you see the movie and you sit in the movie theater and the audience is liking it. That's fun. That's fun. But getting it to that moment can be a drag. It's interesting, the comedies don't, it's like rarely do, a lot of comedians that are really big here, their movies don't connect overseas. So it's like, it's really hard to put your finger on stuff that you would think would be a natural, like, oh, something be really physical, they'll like them. People that are, big stars that do physical stuff that overseas are just not checking for them at all. So I don't know what that is that makes them connect with, because comedy doesn't cross all boundaries. It's like this, because you have language and social stuff, all this stuff that comes into play. A lot of jokes go over people's heads. So I've been fortunate in that my movies have found an overseas audience, been able to connect. And I don't know what the secret is or whatever, but I've been lucky.